6 minutes.
Yep. Hello, Sharpies. I am Bad Bunny.
I am Aaliyah.
Oh, okay. Rock the
I
boat.
got myself on my sweatshirt. So
I would like to open the show by giving a huge shout out to a person who, for the second time, has beaten Anthony as the first comment, Michael Bartlett. Wow, 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 wow. You get
by a
all of the
whole 6 minutes.
vuvuzelas. Yeah, you did it, Mike.
Right.
And when I say Anthony was fast on his heels, he must have been checking the lotto scores or something on his cell phone. He didn't get it
But we
because Mike was on it.
was on it. But we do still have to recognize our boy. Happy birthday, Anthony.
Hey,
It's your
he
birthday.
is.
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
Aquarius. It's your birthday.
So congratulations to both of you. Yes, it is a great one. Y'all are making Black history.
I look like FemWA. That is awesome.
That is awesome. Oh, it's Chan, of course. Well,
Of course.
So that makes a lot of sense. So what we decided, because obviously there's a lot of news every week centered around that person. And so what we decided was we would take a week. There is stuff to talk about dealing with that person, but we decided that we would spend more time focusing on some good stuff. So the name of today's show is Mamdani, Bad Bunny, and a Big Orange Dummy. So we're going to focus more on stuff that brought us, no pun intended, joy. As she's in the lab recording her debut single for FemWA.
Right.
with a feature by the Stray Kids.
Straight out of menopause.
Woo! So that's what we're doing. We're doing a bunch of different stuff, some positive stuff, and
because we all spend way too much time doom scrolling, and the end is nigh every 10 minutes. So yeah, Michael's positive show in this economy. Yeah, we got good news at home. That's what we're about to talk about, because we got good news at home, in the community, in society. And you can hear about cannibalism at any point during the day now. Let's talk about some stuff that brought us happiness. But we're gonna get into the cannibalism, but we can walk and chew gum and not baby at the same time.
Especially when the cannibalism is mostly MAGA on MAGA cannibalism.
It's MAGA on MAGA. Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it. So one of the things that kind of led us to this point where we really wanted to talk about some positivity was some of the things that the mayor has been able to do in New York in a very short period of time. Like people were stunned. Like he made this very ambitious thing. There were a lot of ambitious things that he said about free MTA. And healthcare, and he announced the childcare thing with Governor Hochul like really quickly, and people were like, "Wait, hold on, hold it." You said you were going to do it, and like you're
You
here.
did it. That's why they hate him so much, because he proved both sides. Both sides. He proved that you can get shit done if you just do it.
If you tell people to get out the way,
do it.
Sorry, no, that's okay. We're going to lead off with this. What I'm telling you, all due respect to Kamala Harris, Mamdani is the most gifted, natural, authentic, charismatic politician I have seen
in a generation.
A generation. You know what? He is like a straight Pete Buttigieg with more happiness and a fine ass wife. And so if he weren't mayor and we weren't coming off the heels of, ICE incursions, that's a person to watch. I'm just telling you. Zoran Mamdani, I didn't think Barack Hussein Obama would be the first Black president, but I would not be surprised if Zoran Mamdani is the first Muslim president or whatever. Just, yes.
Oh, so ICE is leaving Minneapolis and they go to New York. They ain't what you want. I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody that might happen to see this that works for the immigrations people, I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't go up in New York thinking that you're gonna do anything. They're gonna clock you immediately. Like the minute you pass the border. You might find it in some of the suburbs or off in New Jersey, but roll up in Queens. See how they go for you. You already scared of the couple of gang members you met in Minnesota. Where do you think they learned it from? This is New York, son.
This is New York, son. Come on, son. So let's take a look at this video. He was born in Uganda, yes. I guess there's probably Hindu parents, actually. Now that
I would guess, yeah. But anyway, what are we looking at?
But we are looking at his press conference where he announces this childcare thing. And just so that you don't get distracted, it is cuteness overload. I'm just telling you, it's pretty incredible. But he even has a toddler-sized podium in the shot. Let's just look at it.
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark?
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes. My favorite animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat?
Thank you all for your answers.
And my favorite one is a gold snake that can move. It has gold eyes, and it has a long tail, a super duper tail, and it can snap cars and crash the cars, and those two cars can get fired.
So just to make sure I'm getting all that, that's a golden snake with gold eyes with super long, can crash cars and crash into them?
Yeah, and they get fired.
I love you repeated that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mamdani,
yes.
The second question for you.
Yes, it's also the golden snake.
So this is what I'm talking about. And that wasn't even the clip that I originally saw. The first clip that I saw that just made me say, this guy is just absolutely amazing. There was a single kid at the podium, and Mamdani was talking about what he's been able to do. And the kid said, voom, voom, voom. And he said, and that's exactly what I mean. That's how it made me feel, the voo, 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 voo. And he just leaned into it. And the kid like kind of snapped his neck around, and he just kept going. Everybody was instantly charmed. There's
it's
nothing.
The same kind of charm that Barack had. Like they've been showing that clip where he was given Teacher of the Year award. He's like, now the little boy out here with a suit on, let him come up here. All right. And then you just roll with it,
And these kids, like when you see kids with certain politicians and it's clear that the kids are props and they look like they're scared. Mamdani looks like he could be on Sesame Street.
Right.
Like
Muppet Show.
He's a guy who is he's so affable and so positive, and it's just amazing. And for the most important city,
Bob's like, Zoran Mamdani, 34. He's only 34.
34.
Democratic mayor of New York City, as of this January, was born in Kampala, Uganda in 1991. I graduated high school in 91, yo.
Yeah.
I could be his mother. He's of Ugandan Indian descent because his parents from India. Okay.
And so this is a man who is the mayor of the most important city. He what?
He can't be president.
Oh, because he was born in Uganda.
That's why they kept telling us that. Yeah.
Right. So governor. He can be governor, right? So this is a man who is just so, even beyond his political gifts, which are mighty. This is a 34-year-old who toppled a former mayor and former governor of New York to be the mayor, the president of the most important city in our country. And he's already doing stuff. Oh, he's a dual.
He's a dual citizen.
34, so he can't be president. Yeah, he has to be 35 to be president. But so he's a dual. But is he?
Don't you have to be born in the United States?
Well, your parents, if your parents are abroad and they are citizens, then you're okay.
I'm seeing Uganda and India though.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
I'm seeing neither.
I don't think either. Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think he could be president.
No, I don't think so. He's a citizen.
What about vice? Okay.
No, you can't be vice president because then you can become president.
The president, yeah.
But we also have a person who's, mostly tangerine. And so
I don't think he's mostly tangerine. I think he's mostly burger.
Well, at this point.
Yeah.
Burger, but we're not going to talk about him. We're talking about good things. We're talking about Mamdani. And it is just exuding so much absolute positivity, and it's literally incredible to see what he has brought to the table. And I wish I lived in New York. I never thought I would say that because my sister used to live in New York, and New York is a big place. I took my son there a couple of years ago for kind of a foodie tour because, of course, it's got great restaurants. People were talking about how all the billionaires, all the rich people were going to leave New York if a Democratic socialist.
Nobody left.
They go nowhere.
Nobody going. That was all a front. It was all just bluster, which we tend to get
and lies and lies and lies. Wasn't nobody going nowhere, and still ain't.
And also, like him launching that childcare thing is again showing the rest of the Democratic Party that yes, you can get something done if you just buck up and put it together. And it didn't. Granted, he is the mayor of the city, so he does have more autonomy than someone that is a part of a larger body. But whenever the Democrats have had the House or the Senate, they haven't done anything with it. They've just figured out how to maintain power and get reelected. And that's all anybody in Congress seems to want to do is figure out how to get reelected and not how to actually do stuff.
Correct.
And when they do come up with something to do, then, a simple, straightforward bill like, hey, let's fund, I don't know, teachers. That gets mired in, okay, let's fund teachers, but in order for me to vote for this, I want you to add this military spending bill onto it. Well, I'll vote for that as long as you add this, environmental thing. And next thing you know, the bill that was supposed to be just to give teachers some money is a $6 trillion mega thing that has nothing to do with the teachers anymore. And then it doesn't pass.
Correct.
Because it's ridiculous. And that's why we keep being at a standstill. Everybody keeps trying to crab in a barrel, and you try to get up with one bill and they pull you back in with other nonsense. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, Mike Johnson, he tried that in this last vote because the House, which is in open revolt, let's just say, and this is good news that they're in open revolt, thanks to the Epstein and thanks to Ro Khanna and Massey, and they put the heat on it, and it's just turning into the horribleness is undeniable. It is absolutely horrible. But the positive outcome is that the Republican majority in the House is now decimated. Representative Dunn in Florida is retiring, which will take Mike Johnson below 218. He will need one Democratic vote to do anything.
Now that's where we have trouble because there will be one Democrat that will.
There may, but it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
And he might not get all the Republicans. So let's 6 Republicans have abandoned him on the last 2 votes. And the last vote that was super huge and important was the fact that he tried to slip into a rule. They were just going to vote on a rule. Those are supposed to be standard non-controversial. But he tried to slip into the rule that they were not going to be able to discuss or deal or interact in any way with Trump's tariffs for a full year.
No.
Well, 6 months. So they were trying to kick the can down the road. Now, of course, before the summer break at SCOTUS, they're probably going to overturn the tariffs anyway. But by voting down the rule, they signaled to SCOTUS that they actually want these powers back, which should, I hope, help to inform their decision. They're like, see, all these concerns we had about Congress wanting that power back and a president not giving that power back. Congress is saying we want that power. And so we got to strike them down. And so it seems more likely than perhaps ever before that that's where we were going. And so I see that as a positive. And, you know, it only presages the fact that there's going to be a whole lot of blue in the midterms. And I'm saying it here. I really need the press to just start using the word blue-nami.
Why?
Stop calling it a blue tsunami when you can just call it a blue-nami.
They're not that smart. It was right there for them.
You know that I love a portmanteau. And it's just like when she said Trump, trickle down, trample down economics. It was right there, Hillary.
They're not that smart.
I tried to tell them, I tagged them and everything. I have found the clip that I wanted to show. So I'm going to show, this is the one that I think is a bit more charming. And it runs into the previous clip. So, but I'm just going to play the bit.
We will also work to welcome more family and home-based childcare providers into our programs. That's how I felt when we came up with this plan. For too long, these providers have been cut off from participating. Together, we will expand the idea of what is possible in our city and what sounds and noises we can make at a press conference.
Do any of you?
How do you not?
Right. That was super cute. Boom, boom.
And he's
That's how I felt.
Sound and noises we can make at a press conference. Not only did you respond to the kid, you incorporated the moment into your unscripted language without missing a beat, not even skipping a breath.
Right.
He is crushing it.
He's got that improv knack, you know, the yes anding. Yeah, he's gonna kill it. I would love to see him be governor of New York.
I mean, and it's listen, anything is possible except being president, apparently. So
right now, you know.
But he could be a secretary of blah, blah, blah. He could be a cabinet person.
You know what kills me is the reason we have this requirement that the president of the United States has to be born on United States soil, or, you know, natural born citizen, is because there was the erroneous thought that no natural born citizen would betray this country, that they couldn't just put a foreign operative in as president, you know, by allowing someone born somewhere else to be president. Lo and behold, because the current occupant is nasty and potentially a murderous, cannibalistic freak, hypothetically, allegedly, you know, they got dirt on him and he got dirt on other people. And so, you know, Epstein was serious when he said, if this all comes out, everything collapses. And it's always been a big blackmail file, because otherwise, why keep records? If you're just doing it strictly just for the fun, why keep such detailed documents? I can't find the deed to my house for my taxes in a 1-bedroom house, but he got 3 million pages of stuff.
And mentioned the new number, the new tally is 1 million mentions. Now, we're not sure if that's complete hyperbole from Jamie Raskin, but something tells me that he just Googled, or he entered into the search box Trump and just looked for results.
Yeah.
And that's where you got the million. And the funny statistic, last week we talked about how the name was mentioned more times than Jesus, God, and Lord in the Bible. 1 million times is more than the 750,000 words in the Bible in total.
Right.
And so the new word on the street is, we're not even calling it the Epstein files, we're just calling it the Trump files, because
it is the Trump files.
His
the name is mentioned more.
It's giving main character energy. Yeah, that's what it's giving. But let's move on to our next happy subject. because we keep drifting back into the old games.
Yeah, we get pulled back.
Riding that same bike.
Yes.
Let's us talk about the Super Bowl and this halftime show.
I'm excited to talk about this because I was on a sports podcast yesterday, but I wasn't supposed to be there. But they texted me like, hey, can you jump in for a minute? Because his co-host didn't show up on time. She was late, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I will sit in, but understand that I took a gummy a while back and it's already here, bruh. You sure you want me to sit in? And he was like, yeah. So I jumped on, a couple jokes. The other lady jumped in. Then everybody else came on like within the first 30 minutes. So then they started talking about the game. I don't want to talk about the game.
Nobody want to talk about
it. I
don't
even give a damn about the Seahawks and the Patriots, I assume, was the other team. I don't care. I didn't care at all.
The game was ass.
Right, the game was. And people said like if you wanted like an exciting game, you was gonna be SOL. So they were talking about the game and I nodded off. And they're like, what did you think of the halftime show? Joy, what? Huh? It was great. What? So now I get a chance to say everything I wanted to say last night, now that I am no longer under the influence. Right. There was a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bob's right. Imagine that you can't hear happiness just because it's in Spanish. You can't hear. You're so hateful that you can't hear joy. And again, everybody was saying, this is all just some trumped up nonsense because we've had people. J-Lo did half of her thing in Spanish when she did the Super Bowl. Not to mention, all these people's kids is going to Bad Bunny concerts because you don't become a global superstar like that and not hit in the United States. Everybody knows Bad Bunny. Matter of fact, when you started doing songs, I was like, I didn't know that was Bad Bunny because I had been listening to it too. And I was like, oh, that's him? I mean, I hear this song all the time on TikTok.
Well, he did. He opened the set with Gasolina, which is actually Daddy Yankee.
Oh, yeah, I knew that wasn't him.
To be fair, it was really Ashanti who was doing J-Lo's show. But we're going to move on from that. I didn't know what to expect, right? Because I saw Bad Bunny on SNL. I thought his musical performances on SNL were very tightly and well choreographed. So I thought we were going to get a good show. I thought he was funny in his sketches. He was a very game performer in the scene. He leaned in and, he knew that he was going to be doing all of his stuff in Spanish. And they have a couple of other Spanish speaking cast members and Pedro Pascal on. And so, oh, Lord. Wow, Bob, you're coming with the hits this week.
With the heaters.
Yeah. And so when I saw, because, it takes like 8 minutes for them to set up the field to be the stage of the halftime show. And I saw these moving bodies of sugarcane grass. And I was like,
the grass,
I was like, wait a minute, are they dancing as sugarcane? Like, what is going on?
He created an entire sugarcane field on that field. It was amazing.
Everything from his costuming and if the game was ass, the ass in the halftime show more than made up for it.
Yep. And it was still respectful because some people try to say those women, I could see their skirts didn't even come down low. They had on biker shorts.
They did.
They had on biking shorts with skirts over them. They weren't giving any more than Old Town 357 did back in the 90s.
And also, y'all remember the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders? When we used to have cheerleaders in football games? Right.
They used to have on basically boxer cut panties on and a bra. Right.
And midriffs all bared. And every aspect of the show, as he wove us through this sugarcane maze of different things, and you had the casita, and you had the bodega, and you had the people with the coco frio, and you had the old black
vendors,
Boricua playing dominoes, and you had all shades of Latinos and Latinas, and you had the bachata and the samba and all of this going on. And for people, there was a black woman who said, when I go to the opera, I don't speak Italian.
Right.
But when I hear the emotion in the words being sung, I can appreciate the emotion. And even in the Shawshank Redemption, there's the scene where Andy Dufresne plays the
a song over the radio. Yeah.
over the thing, and he puts the microphone in front of it, and everybody on the yard can hear it, and all of a sudden they're transfixed and they're beating on the door, and it's like, Dufresne, and he sits there and he turns it up, and everybody can hear it, and then you hear Morgan Freeman say, I don't know what those Italian ladies were singing about, but it sure was like heaven to me. And then he gets
to know the language. Yeah.
You don't. And
right. And Bob makes a good point. He's like, if people that need a separate halftime show are the same ones that needed a separate drinking fountain.
Exactly. And that was another thing that came out. And he quoted it because that was a quote that came out on social media. And so it was just from the electrical poles with the sparks flying, indicating the rolling blackouts on the island. And I mean, it was just, okay.
He's happy to hear Spanish.
Yes. I'm on the Duolingo.
I mean, for everybody else.
I understood that sentence. And by the way, Duolingo, bro.
Right.
You
Google Translate
missed. No, it was Duolingo that missed, because Duolingo should have been on there, or JumpSpeak, or somebody. They should have had, I know it was the Apple halftime show, but Duolingo should have paid.
Duolingo was offering 3 months of free Spanish lessons for the last 3 months.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
But they didn't have a commercial in the thing. Like, as soon as you come out
they
of
didn't have a
commercial, it should have been cash in your 3 months, your 3 free months of Spanish on Duolingo or JumpSpeak or whatever. But it was a great show. And coming on the heels of Kendrick's show, which was a very different show, but still a very solid show. And then you had Rihanna before that. Then you had the Death Row, which I think was the first time Rock Nation was in charge.
Yeah.
That was a real thing. I wasn't a super fan of Rihanna's show, to be honest. It was somewhat inert compared to the one that came before it. And then,
I liked Rihanna's show, but just because it was so expansive. Because I mean, she wasn't really doing a lot of dancing. Correct. She did her big pregnancy reveal, and I was like, wow, okay, that explains why this didn't feel it. But I do feel like it had a couple of good viral moments. But yeah, like it wasn't what the ones before were. Like what was it? Bruno Mars and Beyonce, their year was good.
Yep. And you had even in the Death Row one, where they pulled out and they kind of recreated the neighborhood in all the white, and you had the dude sea walking on the thing, and you had 50, and you had all these rap legends. Snoop was on there, blah blah blah.
Everybody is saying that, like Black show last year, Brown show this year, next year got to be K-pop. I've heard that a lot. But I've also heard, since I do hang out with K-pop fans online, I've heard a lot of them say, nah, bro, because y'all be arresting folks from overseas. So what we're not going to do is get a bunch of beautiful K-pop idols arrested and sent to these detention centers. I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that.
And listen.
TP USA.
Tapusa is what the most derogatory way I have heard them referred to. There's no point in even talking about that pre-recorded, lip-synced. Nobody knew anybody.
It was representative of who was listening. Mediocre to lower level, like not even hitting the midpoint. And talking not matching up with what you're saying. Yeah,
they paid 200 people to be in that room. They shot it in a way where it was really dark, so that you kind of looked at, Rock Nation's been doing it for the last several years. But
my understanding is, and I wish I knew her name, there's a girl that choreographed or was one of the choreographers for this, and apparently she's done all the shows in the last few years.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Jay-Z runs a tight ship.
Kudos to that lady who does all the stuff. She's great.
All of the kudos, especially.
If y'all figure out the name of her, put it in the chat.
Put it in the, because y'all are sharp on that. Y'all can do the Google. We can't. He had a couple get married.
Yes.
And there's a great story around it. So this couple, they're just a couple. They had their wedding invitations. They had 15 invitations left. Okay. So a smaller wedding or whatever. And they said, hey, we got 15 spaces left. What are we going to do? So they sent out some invitations to some local vendors, maybe hoping to get some stuff for free. Smart thinking. Do what you got to do. And then they sent it to Bad Bunny because their first dance was going to be to a Bad Bunny song. And it got to their people, and the people wrote back and they were like, yeah, he can't make it, but he would like you to come to the Super Bowl and be married at the Super Bowl. So they had to cancel their whole wedding.
Because you canceled the wedding.
Because you canceled the wedding so that you could be married in front of a bajillion, 138 million people in the biggest event. Thank you. See, look at you.
Charm Madonna. Thank you. Yeah.
We love you, Sharpies. And so that's how it happened. That couple actually got married at the Super Bowl. So a wonderful expression of love. And it's like, it's such a Mamdani move. You see something and you instantly say, nope, that's it. That's what we got to do. And they made it happen.
Yeah, so Channing said this is a seasoned and an unseasoned meal. And I think Anthony's right. It's seasoned versus uncooked. Like not even fit for consumption. Not even.
Well, but they like raw chicken.
Yeah,
raw chicken these days. So uncooked and catch
chicken
salmonella.
Sushi.
Yeah, it's sushi's fine. Raw chicken because it's bursting with vitamins.
No, have you seen these people doing chicken sushi?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the raw chicken.
Yeah, the raw chicken that they soaked in like lemon juice for a few minutes, talking about now it's good. Go ahead, you and Salmonella can have a good time.
All that. Ella, Sam, y'all have at it.
Right, for all of them.
You invite all their cousins to the party too.
And then so I spend way too much time on Threads. So your boy, Kid Rock, he created a Threads account so he could come on Threads and defend his bullshit ass alternative halftime show, and got ratioed. His first tweet or his first post on Threads got ratioed so bad, like even the people in the comments were getting thousands more likes than his original post. And somebody's like, this ain't X, man. I don't know who you thought you was gonna find out here, but this ain't what you want. And I think he shut it down. It may still be out there, but people were going and tagging him just to clown him.
I love every aspect of his failure because it's what he deserved. It was completely unnecessary, and for him to front like this was an actual thing that anybody really wanted to see.
They were calling him
saw it.
Hillbilly Vanilli.
Yeah, Hillbilly Vanilli is amazing.
I love it.
And so it had fewer viewers than the Puppy Bowl.
Right. And nobody watches the Puppy Bowl. It's just something to fill space.
Well, twice as many watch it as watch that, but yes.
Underage rock. Nice. Instead of Kid Rock. Because that's what they've been trying to do now, is instead of saying that these are children, they're like, oh, this underage, this, underage man. No, underage is 17 and a half. These are children.
But what nobody missed is that he has lyrics in his song Cool Daddy Cool, where he says he wants them underage, and some say it's statutory, but he says it's mandatory.
Yeah, that's who they went to see because they never cared about. Matter of fact, the conspiracy theory now is the reason that whole group is so anti-abortion is because they're hungry. They need to be speaking in tongues instead of chewing on them. But yeah, so she was known for again, born in 88. These kids out here doing great. Congratulations to Charmaine. We can put our whole government name out there.
Yeah, right.
Charm LaDonna, you do your thing, girl. You should be killing it. Killing it.
Yeah, it's just, it was, and it's not always true. Sometimes there are some great Super Bowl games. This was not one of them.
No, but the halftime show was the only reason to tune in.
Absolutely. That is absolutely the truth. It was the only reason to tune in, period. Point blank, period. It just was. And so it turned a kind of a lackluster event into something that could be very easily celebrated. And so for that, We applaud you and
Now,
we salute you.
I want to let y'all know what's happening in real time. I'm not sure what I said or what my co-host said that caused us to not get through the filters, but we're now getting something that says you're having trouble streaming to Facebook. You know, this could be an issue on Facebook's ends. It's possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook. We'll let you know if the problem gets resolved. This is StreamYard telling us this. So when they tell you about people getting shadow banned or folks natural viewership getting reduced, etc., it's happening right now. The same way we're having those trolls for the last couple of weeks that came out of nowhere. The bots are all over the place, and they are actively trying to. We got zucked. Yeah, they are actively trying to remove the voices that don't align with our cannibal corporate overlords.
Well,
So we're still here on YouTube, though.
I'm on our page, and it looks like.
It looks like what?
No, it stopped at 34:13.
Yeah, so that was about a minute ago when that thing popped up. It stopped playing on YouTube. Or stopped playing on Facebook, which is why we scaled to YouTube as well. Because YouTube so far has not been as bad.
No.
She probably is. I wondered about that. I wondered about maybe when I used the name of that other alternative entertainer, did something get triggered? Because that was right about that time. It's like, oh, we don't know what happened. What?
You know what it was?
What?
I think the reference to the Kid Rock lyrics.
Yeah, that may have done it.
That was probably it.
Anyway, moving on. See, this is why you don't talk about nonsense, crazy people, because
Exactly.
they get you jacked up. Thank you all for moving to YouTube.
But while we were talking about Pam Bondi, we do have a little thing to discuss with her. She famously had, well, it wasn't exactly a hearing. It was more of a yelling.
Yes, nobody heard nothing.
She didn't answer any questions. But because we don't like to platform inveterate liars who are talentless hacks, we like to talk about content creators that parody those people. And so we have a nice little clip that pretty much encapsulates more or less kind of exactly what happened in real time. So let's take a look at this.
Greetings.
Hi, what are your specials?
Well, you know, it's funny. Since my time as waitress, I have completed more orders than...
Sorry, what are the specials?
Excuse me! I'm going to answer the question when I'm good and ready. Your theatrics are ridiculous. Okay, the market price fish might be up, but the Dow is down. Oh, you can't read the menu because of redactions? How about you apologize for coming in here with a party of 11?
Ma'am, could I get a refill on water?
Did you drink the water I already gave you?
Yeah, but I want...
So you admit that I already gave you water?
Yeah, but I
yield
want...
my time.
Ma'am.
Oh, so you want to complain that I gave you pickles when you said you didn't want pickles, but how about you apologize for a complicated order? I have yet to hear an apology from you, or you for that matter. What are the gluten-free options? How about you grow a pair? A turkey burger? This guy's got beef derangement syndrome over here. Give me a break.
Check, please.
You do not tell me what to do. I will get you the check when I want to get you the check.
And could I please get that with Italian dressing?
Italian dressing? In America? Just say you love illegal invaders.
That's pretty much how it went.
I mean,
to the T.
Sometimes it's just true.
It's just true. Like the whole, how about you apologize to me? And if you paid attention to her, she was trying to say, apologize to me for accusing me of not doing my job because I haven't done my job. And Bob is right. How has she not been disbarred? And this is where a lot of people who are liberals, Democrats, neutrals, nonpartisan, et cetera. This is where people get irritated because what the hell are y'all doing up there? Why is the checks and balances not checking and balancing?
Correct.
Right. And it is really a shame that everyone, and granted, people are splintering off now. I guess it took cannibalism to get them there. But finally starting to say, oh, you know what, maybe I don't want to be affiliated with this. Maybe I will vote with the Democrats to impeach or to see all the files or whatever. This is getting ridiculous. It's not even that we are the laughingstock of the world. We're a country of creeps. We're a country of pedophiles and pedophile protectors.
Let's lean away from that language. garbage. We are a country of Trumpian class Epsteinians who are doing their level best to protect each other instead of doing the work that could be protecting the rest of the world, which is why we have one of the things that we also, this is another thing that came out that I was not expecting at all to be fallout from the Epstein files. I just absolutely was not expecting this. But, and I don't know how true it is, but I do want to play it because it is jaw-dropping, especially in light of the recent passing of James Vanderbeek, who passed from colorectal cancer. Dawson's Creek was a little bit, I mean, I wasn't a high school person.
What are you talking about?
This clip. Let's just look at this real quick.
Okay.
The Epstein files dropped on January 30th, and within 1 week, 6 different countries suddenly announced cancer cures. That's not a coincidence.
January 30, 2026, Epstein files released. February 3-7, 2026, Spain, China, Cuba, Russia, Japan, and Australia all announced breakthrough cancer treatments at the exact same time. The U.S. withdrew from the WHO on January 22nd, and suddenly cures appear everywhere.
Wait, so for decades we had no cancer cures. Then the Epstein files exposed big pharma connections, and suddenly everyone has cures.
Bill Gates was named in the Epstein files. Gates has massive investments in pharmaceutical companies and WHO funding. Within days of his name being exposed, countries start announcing treatments the WHO allegedly suppressed.
So you're saying they were hiding cancer cures to protect pharmaceutical profits?
Look at the timing. Pancreatic cancer vaccine, 60 to 80% success rate in trials. Colorectal cancer immunotherapy breakthroughs. Russian mRNA cancer vaccine, all announced in a 7-day window after Epstein files drop.
But couldn't this just be coincidental timing with World Cancer Day on February 4th?
That's the cover story, but ask yourself, why did countries wait until after the U.S. left the WHO to announce these? Social media exploded saying America has been holding back development for years to please pharmaceutical giants.
So the WHO was the gatekeeper preventing cures from being released.
Gates funded the...
You're on mute. You're still on mute. Okay.
I'm not saying that it isn't QAnon adjacent, and I'm not saying that some of the timelines are inaccurate. They are Family Guy characters. Here's the thing, though. When you look at the people who are now being uncovered, names that you never thought would be uncovered, these people are going, the congresspersons who have access to the SCIF with the 4 computers where they have supposedly fully unredacted files, which are not fully unredacted, plus all the files haven't been released to them. But the names that they are coming out with, Nancy Mace said, you would be astonished. Just that Bill Gates got antibiotics from Epstein because he caught a disease.
Yeah.
And was trying to figure out how he could give antibiotics to his wife without her knowing. There's a lot there. And when you think about our country and RFK and the measles vaccine and the measles outbreak and Dr. Oz now saying, yeah, we weren't talking about the measles vaccine, except that RFK was talking about all the vaccines. There's a lot of stuff out there. And people for years have been saying that there is no money in the cure.
Right. The money's in the return treatment. Any drug dealer would tell you that. The money's on the comeback.
It's on the comeback. So would it surprise me that there were, you know, in a time where Trump is saying that we are paying the highest cost for medications in the world, and we are paying among the highest because we've got the money and the pharmaceutical companies are willing to charge us out the wazoo.
Y'all understand how much we are pushed medicine. There's a pill for everything. And most of those pills are just concentrated and processed versions of the oolong tea, right? Like you could get this from the farmer's market, half the drugs you on, get you some bitter melon and boil it. It ain't gonna be good, but it'll lower your blood pressure, you know? And so all of that, oh, what was it? And I learned this when I was still in corporate because we use the statistic to sell toilet paper. But the United States is roughly 5 to 6% of the world's population, but they purchase 75% of the drugs in the world. We are drugged out of our minds. And some of it's valid, but most of it is not, right? Why is it that, and we don't have any longer lifespan than any other country?
No. Shorter in many ways.
Shorter in many ways.
More obesity than almost anywhere else.
We're obese, and we're obese specifically because of the way we process flour. So the whole like gluten allergy and all that kind of stuff. All first off, that's real. And then you wonder how is it that Italians and all Asians are so thin or in better shape cardiovascularly when they pork and noodles and oil and the rest of that stuff. And it's because
rice.
of the way they do the pasta.
Yeah.
And the way and the fact they wash their rice, but also the way you should process pasta. You can process it a lot faster the way we do it in America, but it releases all the stuff that makes you fat. The way they do it in Italy doesn't have that problem. It could be the exact same grain. It's wild. It's wild how much our own companies that are American companies like Kellogg's and everything else, as an example of an American company, but how much they just sell us plastic and poison with a little bit of, I don't know, thin minced beef or whatever it was that McDonald's was selling for beef patties a while back. We get the dregs. They got to step up their game to get stuff out of the country. And the FDA also is not completely innocent in a lot of this, because a lot of stuff that should pass FDA doesn't have the money to go through the process, or some other competitor is holding it back because, you know, Glaxo doesn't like blah, 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 blah. And then you go to another country and they're like, oh yeah, we've been using this for 5 years. Right. And they've got us so afraid as Americans to go overseas for any sort of procedure, because we still remember the lip injections and BBLs of the 80s that would come back all deformed and gross. It's gotten better, to say the least. But people are doing medicine different in a lot of places because they're interested in healing people and not in just getting them strung out on a legal pharmaceutical. Yeah.
And listen, y'all,
true.
Your health is among the only assets that you have that you have a measure of control over.
Mm-hmm.
And
all good food is for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just need to be, I didn't put that video up as like proof or factual evidence. It's just thought-provoking. There's a grain of truth in the level of deflection that will be used in order to pull focus from what's going on. I
did remember hearing that a woman found a cure for, I want to say a woman from Mexico, found a cure for cervical cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, because they started off with like the vaccine for the papillomavirus. So if you never had the papillomavirus, then you could potentially never have cervical cancer. But now it seems like they've stepped it up another bit. But yeah, that's another cure for a cancer. And why would you hold that back if it weren't for the fact that you can make a whole lot more money off of painkillers and nausea inhibitors and all these other things so people can live or survive in misery than just fixing them? Just heal them.
And you certainly have been using Henrietta Lax's cells for 70 years.
For 100 years, yeah.
So, I mean, it's difficult not to believe the possibility that Big Pharma is playing shenanigans.
It also takes us back to the magic that is Black women. Like there's the discussions around trying to get DNA samples and take the blood of Black people. It sounds like supercell, right? Like what are they looking for in the blood of melanated people that they need? And I mean, it goes back to the vampire stories and everything else. Like, what is really going on with y'all? Are y'all okay? No, the answer is no. I know you're not. I know you're not okay because I see what you do. All of y'all crazy. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at some of these metrics. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the Facebook stuff. 749,000 seconds viewed.
Okay. Not bad at all. Yeah.
No. So we are nearing the 50-minute mark. And I think we've done a fair job of keeping things kind of light and inspirational.
Yeah. It's hard to get me out of a downward spiral, but we've done a good job of not doom trolling the rest of y'all.
Correct.
But one more thing about Bad Bunny. I didn't know he was fine like that. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, But yo, like, and it wasn't even at the Super Bowl. I mean, he was tall with nice shoulders at the Super Bowl, and he's a good looking dude in the face. But then I wanted to say something online. I was like, I need a picture of Bad Bunny, and the internet did not disappoint. That boy been out there being naked for a minute, and I was like, what is this with the black and white and the tattoos? Good Lord. And then something else, and he was like barely covered with like a towel, and it looked like a hand towel. And I was like, oh my God. Why are you out here naked, little boy? But
I didn't know anything about Bad Bunny until I saw the movie Bullet Train. Because he was an assassin in Bullet Train. He was only in Bullet Train. Well, he had a flashback, and then as soon as he got on the Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, he was killed almost instantly. But spoiler alert, it's 4 years old. But I was like, why is this guy called Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
I just didn't get it. And I didn't know that he was like a musical star, and he wasn't as big as he is now. Obviously, he's one of, like, arguably the biggest artist in the world.
He is by streams right now.
Yeah, exactly. So to see how he has progressed, and I think he's been on SNL twice, maybe once as a musical guest, and then he came back as an actual host.
And him and Pedro Pascal are homies.
Oh, Pedro comes back anytime he's on the show. I think he was maybe the musical performer when Pedro did the show. And then when he came back as the host, Pedro came back to revisit one of the sketches.
Because Pedro is that dude. I love him too.
No, he and was in the Super Bowl with him.
Just chilling, looking like somebody's uncle that snuck in the club.
And that's exactly, I think that's what he was supposed to be. He was, I think he was at the casita, so he was just an uncle sitting on the porch, just
along with Cardi B and Jessica Alba and everybody else. Yeah,
and I missed
representing. It was beautiful.
No, it was. I mean, it was a way to bring a measure of joy.
And still have a good message, like the whole thing about God bless America, but America is everything from the tip of South America all the way up to Canada.
And the only thing that's stronger than hatred is love, and all of that. And another piece of good news, even though ICE is maybe moving and decamping to come to New York, all of the National Guard troops are being drawn down.
Good. It's about time.
So they're not going to be deployed any further. So that's a great thing. And, we're heading into Valentine's Day. Oh, okay. Hey, come on, Tez down. When'd you cross? Drop your info in the chat, my boy. Spring 89 here. So
Spring 89. Wow. You've been a capo longer choreographer.
Okay. Hey. You ain't had to do all that. And on a somewhat somber note, since we just said Spring 89, one of the reasons that cancer was sitting on me a little bit heavy this week is we found out that last week we lost the first of our line brothers.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
And we didn't even find out about it when it happened. We found out about it a few days later. And so that has been kind of health and things related to health and all, especially when this cancer stuff came out, it kind of pressed itself on me a bit more aggressively than it might otherwise have.
Yeah.
But, Adolphus Clayton, he was my back when we were online, and now he has gone to the chapter Invisible. So shout out 16 Club, Keebler. We love you, bro. And we will see you on the Golden Shores. I talked about this on my show for a bit the last week. Oh, okay. The Tez down. Okay. Cortez Brand Sr. Okay.
You do know everything.
I think I've heard your dad's name, because Cortez is a unique name. So you're junior, so he's obviously senior. So Zeta. Okay. All right, Ohio State. Unless it's Zeta Gamma. I'm not sure if Z Gang is Zeta Gamma, but if it is Zeta, then it's Ohio State. So the Ohio State. So Joy, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do remember this happening.
Yes.
About going to the doctor, and they called him gay. And I got something to say about all of that, but go ahead with what you were going to say. This will hold.
Well, what I was going to say, because I saw that same thing and I replied to his thread because he was just talking about a checkup.
Yeah.
Your checkup isn't just a prostate exam. It's a yearly checkup.
Right.
And so what I said is that, first of all of you who are talking about eating right and that's not it. You don't know what's going on in your body. You don't. You might have a predilection toward cancerous things. There might be cancer in your family that you have no control over. And so you're, at the very least, you can get your PSA check,
right,
which is your prostate specific antigen test. And
which is a blood test.
It's just a blood test. And so if they find that those antigens are elevated, that could be an area of concern. And my father was diagnosed with cancer in 2010. And so ever since then, I've been just, as a part of my natural regimen, I've been very present in making sure that I get my annual PSA. And, you don't have to get a colonoscopy. That's recommended like every 10 years, depending on how old you are. But, a digital exam is not something that you get all the time. But listen, there are too many people succumbing to these ailments that are eminently preventable. Prostate cancer especially has a super survival rate. My dad has been cancer-free ever since his treatment. And that was in 2010. It is 2016. No relapse, just full on.
Yeah. Yes. It's been 16 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's, and they don't do it, to Jan's point, they don't even do that. Some people, there are some things, and I have a SANS who specializes in oncology. And so there are some things that, you might not get with the antigen because, everything that could be wrong with your prostate doesn't necessarily trigger those antigens. Anyway, the whole point is that you need to chill out, bro.
Now I want to talk about the whole that's gay trend, phenomenon, era, whatever foolishness we're in. And I'm coming at it from a different direction because, hang on, Bob. Sorry, put that back up. Put it back up. I had prostate cancer at 48, discovered by a PSA test. The digital exam was negative, so go get your physical. Thank you for being a survivor. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for sharing this. Because for all of the finger and everything, that didn't say anything, but it was the antigen test that did. You need to get checked out the same way. And first, just before I begin my rant on everything that people think is gay, women get a pap smear every year. They just slide in and pop the whole thing open and just go rooting around in there with like a snow shovel to come out with something, to put on a little disc of HeLa cells to tell you something later. It's crazy. And they do it every year. And they never even bother to try to get a better system because it was women. They're like, you just pop. Yeah. It's crazy.
Go ahead, please. This is an important message.
So,
oh my God.
Yes, but as Anthony says, go get your stuff tested. Yeah, please. Don't die because of ignorance.
Oh wow, goodness.
He is yelling at
you. You were talking about internalized homophobia.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I was online and people every time we might talk about our little K-pop loves or whatever, because they're gorgeous little children, but they're children as far as I'm concerned. Like the 30s, they're in their 30s. I could be their mother. So when they're like, oh, he's so cute, and it never fails as some bitter old man or some bitter young man comes through. Y'all be liking these feminine looking dudes and blah, 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 blah. He looks like a girl. Okay. So yeah, a couple of them are pretty and we think they might be high fae because they're that gorgeous. But the most of them is just dudes with a skincare routine. You too could be pretty if you would exfoliate every now and then. Wash your face. Like there's a guy that I watch, Honcho. He's a barber, and he always steaming hot towel, right? And then he's in that mode, right? But what he's really doing when he gives you that steaming hot towel is he is heating up that layer of dead skin on your face, and then he scrubs it off. You are getting a facial when you go see him. That's why it costs so much everything he's doing, because he got to sneak a facial in on these brothers because that's gay, right? You out here scraping up your wife's ankles because you refuse to get a pedicure or even put lotion on your feet, right? It's a mess. Yes, Yes, the high face.
Scratched ankles is diabolical.
Just waking up looking like you got ligature marks. No, it's your husband's feet.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Right, blink 3 times. And I'm gonna blink 3 times because I'm not okay. Because he's killing me over here. Death by 1,000 skin paper cuts. What is happening? Right. And then this whole thing, like real men have streaks in their drawers. No, they don't.
No,
they don't. That is not a thing that has ever been true. And it's also, if you think about it, going all the way back to the Vikings, which when they would show up, the women would be like, oh, they smell like they took a bath this year and they combed their hair. Hey, Vikings. And then they started all these rumors about Vikings being cannibals and marauders and everything. And there may have been some raping and pillaging going on, but some of it looked like it may have been consensual because women are like, you don't smell like all outdoors. You don't smell like the horses and the manure. You smell like sea foam. You know what? You can get it. And then, right? You can get it. And then think about the pretty motherfuckers from like the 90s. Even the young kids now have a term called 90s fine. And you look at the dudes that was fine back in the 90s, all skin tones. It wasn't just a light skin thing, but Morris Chestnut, right? LL Cool J. I promise you LL Cool J takes a bath. I promise you Morris Chestnut has a skincare routine. I promise you.
So full disclosure, I used to work with LL Cool J when he was on tour. There's a reason why he is still in shape because he takes care of himself.
Right.
And so some, a lot of actors, a lot of performers do have a really good genetics, which is why Morris Chestnut hasn't aged and Lorenz Tate hasn't aged and Lance Gross hasn't aged. So they, they're lucky in the genetics arms race that, they're just going to stay. But because of that, they take advantage of the thing that makes them money.
Yeah.
So you gotta take care of yourself. Is the message.
Exactly, because Ricky Martin was looking hella moisturized to be in his 50s.
I didn't even know that was Ricky Martin at first. I was like, this has got to be Ricky Martin.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't believe that's Ricky Martin.
Ricky looked good. He been drinking his water and minding his business this whole time.
Like he's living La Vida Loca.
Yeah,
I guess.
But that's the other thing is like saying that all these guys are effeminate because they take care of themselves is you shooting yourself in the foot because you won't take care of yourself and you won't even go to the doctor to check and see if you're on the path to life or not, all behind some nonsense around, anything touching your butt is gay. That's stupid. That is so dumb. And men are supposed to stink. No, you're not. You're really not. You might have some sweat after you come from the gym or if you've been outside working, but you know what fixes that? A bath. Take a bath. Take a bath, clip your toenails, and wash your face. That's all it would take to be a pretty motherfucker. That's all it takes is effort. But now y'all rather sit.
Not that much effort. Like
it don't take much effort. Right. Right. We appreciate it. Instead of trying to take away women's rights and forcing them to have to rely on you for shelter, take a bath. Which one seems easier to do? That's all I'm saying.
Take some water. And while you're bathing, drink some water occasionally. Yeah.
Get some coconut water, something. I'd even let you have Gatorade, man. Just hydrate yourselves.
Drinking La Vita Coca.
Yes. That's what I think Mike was going for there.
I know.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you will definitely live longer. But so it's two ends of the same problem of this willful negligence of the male cisgender American heterosexual body. That group is just like, nah, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not trying to look nice for these girls because that's simp behavior. The simps is married with children though, right? And I'm not trying to go to the doctor because ain't nobody touching me down there. What trauma do y'all have collectively that is telling y'all not to go get a checkup and to think that a checkup automatically includes a digital exam?
Right.
Look, we want to see you run for a minute on this treadmill and take your heart rate, draw some blood, and check your ears. That's it. That's it, my boy. Go get that done. Because what also ain't sexy is playing nursemaid to a sicko man. Ain't nobody trying to do that either. So yeah, Kevin on stage was right. Go to the doctor. Just get checked out.
Yeah, it's really not.
Okay, Mike. He said regular bathing takes efforts. I only got to take away your rights once. Okay, I see you, fool.
That's funny.
We said, well, I think that's part of the reason men don't go to the doctor. It's not just machismo, because women are in the habit of seeing a medical professional regularly. Starting from the moment you have your period, you're at the doctor every year at least.
I'm going to drop this in the chat because my friend Leslie Grinner from her time at USC, to explore some of this, look up this framework that she shared. It's called SQUAMP.
What does it stand for?
It stands for straight, Christian, white, able-bodied, male. I think the P might be, property holder.
Property holder. Okay.
And so it's basically
straight Christian, white American,
able-bodied,
okay,
male,
property
owner.
Okay.
And it's an ideological framework which basically centers around the idea that is the hierarchy that they have set up.
Mm-hmm.
That is the undergirding framework of white supremacy.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Because remember, they only wanted property holders to be able to vote.
And that's why she created this framework, and somebody tried to take credit for it, but
of course.
They had the nerve. The good news is that when you Google it, it says an intersectional framework developed by Leslie Grinner, and it's used to analyze media content and identify dominant, often hidden ideologies. Mm-hmm. So Google AI is crediting you, Leslie. Good for you.
And we still need to drain the swamp.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Starting with this will be the last thing that I want to say, because I took the time to put this picture on here. This is what the world thinks of the orange guy. So there is an opera in Germany right now, and among other things, it features a Trump in a diaper who progressively gets larger as the show goes on. And he eventually does battle with, like, they couldn't call it Godzilla because of licensing, so they called it something different.
Lizard monster or something,
Yeah, but eventually he goes to, and this is a full-on opera.
But look at what's going on in this picture, y'all. First of all,
so
did you peep the Joker over here with the yellow rain boots on?
So I think that's a vampire. Oh no, the vampires are in front of the Coke machine. The
kaiju. Yeah, that's what you can call it when it's not when you don't want to say.
Yeah, but they do. It has like a Zilla. No, so Chan, there's a whole cadre. There's like a phalanx of Miss Piggies that are assassins.
They're Miss Piggy assassons. Yeah, like ninjas.
And
except
these two figures in front of the Coca-Cola refrigerator, which has real Coke, not even Diet Coke. But these are two vampires. They are basically the Greek chorus of the whole thing. And
on
then
the left?
On the right side of the screen in front of the Coca-Cola refrigerator. And then on the left are the dancing there are other people. It could be oh yeah, I see the little dots on the pants. Yeah, that could be a Mickey Mouse reference. That makes sense, actually. But it's a full-on opera. And so he, of course, is upset that people are making fun of him. We're the hottest country, except everybody's
the laughing stock of the world. And say what you want about anybody to come before, even the ones we didn't like. I don't know that we have ever had a president be mocked like this.
No.
And we had a black president. They liked him. He was cool people. He got along with everybody that was worth getting along with for the most part. Right.
And we have a president now who's trying to close a bridge between Canada and Detroit, paid for by Canada, using Canadian steel and U.S. steel, Canadian workers and U.S. workers. And once Canada gets reimbursed for the cost of the bridge, Michigan and Ontario are going to split the tolls 50-50 once they get recouped. But Donald Trump is coming against it because the owner of the Ambassador Bridge doesn't want the competition, because that's privately held and this is a publicly held bridge. And it's a Gordie Howe bridge. So if you're a hockey fan, that means something to you. But for Trump, who refers to it as ice hockey, he clearly doesn't, because it's just hockey. There's hockey and field hockey. Nobody calls it ice hockey. Bro.
No.
Just don't.
But okay.
But you're not an athlete. So
in any form. You're not even golf. I heard he cheats real bad.
And given how swollen your cankles are, I'm sure you probably, well, no, you wouldn't be scratching Melania's ankles because she doesn't stay with you. So, no, maybe you're tearing the sheets up.
He's ripping them sheets to shreds, man.
Nosferatu, orange Ferratu.
Right?
Joy, what do you have left, or are we at the end of this week's journey?
I think we might be at the end of the journey for this week because I can't think of anything. Can't think of anything else. My big thing was the Super Bowl and the midterms. Did we talk about the midterm elections and them swinging blue? Did we talk about that already?
We did not spend any real time on it, but go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, recently in Texas, of all places, the bastion of red nonsense, Texas state senator, another one was overturned for a Democrat replacing a Republican in the heart of Texas. And that's saying a lot. Jasmine Crockett is still looking like she's in the hunt, for the governorship. And so that's going to be for the state Senate. Thank you. And that's going to be a close race too. And then there's other races over here on the East Coast. I want to say, was it in Virginia where they just had an emergency election?
Well, Virginia just agreed that they are going to flip their maps as well.
Oh,
they're going to
okay.
They're going to take it to the voters about redoing their maps. And SCOTUS approved. They reinforced California's maps, which would have been a trick for them to disapprove California's maps when they approved Texas's maps. So, you're exactly right, Mike. And what I think is the real issue is the fact that the House is in revolt.
Yes.
And, the Senate is in trouble by proxy, but the House is in revolt. And one of the guys, Don Bacon, is retiring. Massey has a primary contestant, but the other four that voted with the Dems this last week, all of them are running again. And nobody ran against them, and the primary season is over for them. So all of them are up for re-election, and Trump has just threatened them. And if you threaten those people, they can't be primaried now. You're basically saying, don't vote for these people. Well, so the Democrats are going to do it. What did happen this week about the midterms is that the Democrats expanded their field. They basically said any seat where Trump won by 13 or less, they're contesting.
Yeah, because they've been flipping stuff by 17, 18 points. They got a shot. They got a shot at all of them.
And I was listening to a Hispanic content creator who was saying they were counting in Texas because he did so well with Latinos in 2024.
That was before you deported all their parents, bro.
And that's what he said. The Latinos lent you their vote. Oh, this was a senator. This was the senator from Arizona, Gallego. We lent you the vote because of the economy. But now he is like negative 47 nationwide with the Hispanic population. And Texas redrew its maps counting on Latinos carrying those districts and tearing them away from Black voters. And now you may have just given up 5 seats that should have been okay.
Yup.
So, it's a lot. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, here's the other twist. Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she didn't name a successor and she left so abruptly, it's like 30 people going for that seat. And it's a whole bunch of Republicans and 3 Democrats. And so it's going to be a runoff.
Yeah.
Unless, the strongest Democrat is the only one standing and they consolidate effort for the one. And if they get 50% plus 1, there is no runoff.
Right.
And it's very
unlikely that you're going
to get a pure winner on the Republican side just because it's so fractured. There's too much noise. and there's nobody who's a front runner. And Trump is going to have to endorse somebody unless they see the writing on the wall and realize.
And the endorsements aren't working like they used to, because people are like, do you really want to be endorsed by someone whose name is in these files over 1 million times?
I mean, it's so cold.
You can't just be suspected of eating babies and think people is going to just be all right with that.
No. Yep, one of the Carolinas. There's a lot. Mm-hmm. There is a lot. Please support. This is the year to put the money in.
Yeah.
And, it's like they say, Emily means early money is like yeast. It helps to rise. So if you give now, you can power your candidate of your choice. We're big Crockett fans over here. Mm-hmm. I think James Tallarico is a great person, but he does not have the profile that Crockett does.
No. Crockett will get in there and do some things. Yeah.
She will get in there and do some things. And so that's what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing is, y'all, I mean, the house is looking real good. That's not an indication for you to slack off, but the house is looking good. That means impeachment. If you don't like Bondi, if you don't like Besant, if you don't like RFK, if you don't like, you can get all of them out. Mm-hmm. And there's a fair chance that some of them folks would get convicted in the Senate. Because guess what? Without the House, Kristi Noem, there's another one.
Yeah.
DHS is not funded, y'all. Because the Democrats did a good thing and held off and they carved off.
They carved it out, yep, and held it. Mm-hmm.
And they held it. So ICE, this is the time to go. And I bet you could do a class action lawsuit to not have to pay that money back.
At a minimum.
At a minimum. Mm-hmm. Because the next thing to go is the quotas. That's the next thing to go. They're going to strike those quotas down. And when you strike the quotas down.
Now what y'all out here for?
And listen, some of y'all ain't got paid anyway.
Right.
And you only got that $10,000. And,
which you've already
organized. Get you a class action lawyer, because that was a draconian thing that you signed. But that is what is powering the most aggressive behavior. They are trying to make that quota because they don't want to have to pay the government back. That's what it comes down to. So love of money is the root of all evil.
That quota is the same quota they used to have for the police on arrests and everything to keep the prisons full, because that's another system, of capitalism. Yeah.
And it's great to see that so many states are like, no, you're not building a concentration camp here. You're not doing it.
Right.
We're just not going to have it. But that said, enjoy your Valentine's Day for those of you who are Valentining. And we are still in the midst of Black History Month. I got my little armbands on fleek. So celebrate. Make a stand. Support Black business. Get out there. Well, there's that.
I just want to say, since Stray Kids Dominate Experience is their tour, it's a movie of their tour that I went to see last weekend. It's still out there. You can go see it again. However, I will say that in its first opening weekend, it earned $5.7 million in the United States and $19.9 million worldwide, which I do believe is better than Melania.
Oh, it's a lot better than Melania, because Melania earned like 47 cents in the international market and experienced a 66% drop off. Yes. Well, so here it is. This is the last thing, and we can talk about this just in passing. Wes Moore was briefly one of two governors who was not invited to the national governor's thing with the president. And he is actually like the vice chair of the whole National Governors Association. And then Caroline Levitt tried to say, well, he didn't come last year. And so he wasn't invited because he didn't come last year, which is just some bullshit. And then it turned into, now he's not inviting any of the Democratic governors. And then the rest of the governors were like, yeah, that's not going to work for us. Right. And so they all kind of said, nah, And now they're trying to figure out something where all of the governors can be together, and maybe he can come see them or whatever. But there are going to be some governors, I'm sure, who are going to go, but it's not. Listen, y'all governors from the red states that are taker states, y'all ain't got much to say. You can kiss his ass and make him feel good, but
because at the end of the day, past all the rhetoric, you know where your money comes from.
Correct.
It comes from them expensive,
if you want,
high cost of living blue states.
Blue states. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful. Thank you, Mike. You have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Actually, I am. Oh boy, I forgot. I'm traveling next week.
so we'll take next week off.
Yeah, let's say we'll take next week off because I'm. Okay. I think. Yeah, I won't. I will have landed, but I'll be scrambling to try to get.
I will actually be traveling too. I'll be flying to LA. I'll be flying into LA, as a matter of fact, next Thursday night. Yep.
All right. So until next time, I am not Kid Rock,
and I'm Apollonia.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Come on, Lake Minnetonka. And this is Steel Sharpens Steel.